video is all about my new addiction, troll beads. So I wanted to make a beginner's guide for everyone who is thinking about or has ventured into the troll bead universe. There's definitely a lot of differences between troll beads and Pandora, but obviously the underlying similarities is that they're charms on bracelets. So I wanted to show you what my bracelet looks like. So I'm going to be demonstrating on a couple of my finished bracelets, and trust me, it does not take any time at all to finish one of these babies. So this one is my basic green bracelet, and on here are mainly production beads, and as you see in the page, I describe the differences between the production beads and the unique beads, so I'm not going to go into that too much here. But basically, these two are production beads. This one is a unique. These are production beads. This one is actually an artisan bead, and what that means is there are independent glass makers who make their own beads, and usually they're very much styled after troll beads, so that's one of these. Production bead, these are production beads. So these are all production beads. So the main beads on here are production bead, but I do have a unique over here that I just love. This was one of my first uniques, and I haven't looked back. So anyways, the main thing is the troll beads. The bracelet is a chain, so as you can see, there's no threads, there's no clips, it's all just loose beads on the bracelet. Now the fun thing about troll is that they have these lock and chain systems where you can change out the locks. So this is called a double lock because it has two clasps, and the chain is just a snake chain. It's pretty unique in that it hardly ever breaks. I haven't heard anyone say that their troll bead has broken, or their troll bead chain. So it's very strong, if you can see right there, and I'll take it off at the end so you can see what it looks like on its own. But it's very unique. It has these scale-like notches, so that it bends just any and all ways. Not very similar to the Pandora bracelet, which sometimes you have to get it in just the right way, otherwise it feels very stiff. But this one's very flexible. So anyways, so we've got the lock, and you have to add the lock length to the chain. So like I said on the page there, I wear a 7.9, and the reason why I went up size is because of all the glass beads. If I did a 7.5, which is my normal size with Pandora, it's too tight because all the beads create not enough room on my wrist. So we've got the lock. This one is a little longer than 2 centimeters. This is probably closer to 3, and that's just because of this extra length here. And I'll show you the regular lock. Here's my other green bracelet. These are pretty much all uniques, and artisan beads. This one is a production earth. But here, as you can see, this is just a regular lock, and that's because it only has it doesn't have that extra clasp portion. So when you take it off, this is only 2 centimeters, and so the rest of the chain is 17 centimeters. So it's still pretty loose, but I like it. It's not too loose. Get this back on. I just fill up these chains that there's hardly any room left at all. So there we go. So it's pretty simple. You just thread it all on, or just string it along, just like a bead on a string, since there's no threads. But that also kind of creates some issues in the event that you unhook these. You have to make sure you catch all the beads before they roll off, because that's what happens very quickly. Troll Beads does offer stoppers, and that's what these are. I bought these, oops, there we go. They're silicone rings basically with a silver outer shell. I bought these with my first purchase because I thought I'd be using these all the time because I was used to the Pandora system where, you know, you do need clips or stoppers or something to keep the beads from rolling onto the threads, which is a pet peeve of mine. But actually with troll beads, they're pretty safe as long as, you know, you don't unhook the clasp here. But otherwise, even if I don't have a full bracelet, I don't use the stoppers anymore just because it doesn't bother me that the beads roll around on the chain because nothing gets stuck on any threads or anything like that. So it won't damage the bracelet at all. But these are actually kind of pricey for what they are. These are $20 each, which is a little high, I believe. So that's why I don't use them anymore. But, you know, it's always an option to get in the event that you want to use something like that for the end. So when you know, go to change out the beads or something, it doesn't all roll away. So next, I'll show you how easy, I guess, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's more difficult, it is to put on a troll beads bracelet. And you know, the Pandora system has that barrel lock. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to put the end of the chain further away from me. If I can have you see this. I like to rest it on the thinnest part of my wrist. And it gets harder the fuller your bracelet is. So if it's actually not that full, it's not very difficult. But I don't know if you saw that. But you basically just slip it on. Slip the clasp into the eye. So it's as simple as that. The double lock also makes it a little easier just because it's a little longer than the regular lock so that it can grab the little O-ring at the end. So I'll try it with the regular lock. This one, by the way, is the double clasp flower. This one is the lace lock. It's also very pretty. So, like I said, most of these are one of a kinds, so I really like it. And plus it's all green, so I like that even better. But this might be a little more difficult just because it is thinner, or a little, not as loose at the ends, but I'm going to try to show you. Okay, so I'm going to tuck that under. And it also depends on the lock because sometimes the lock is stiffer, this part, that is. So bear with me. So obviously, I mean, it takes a couple tries, but hopefully I won't have to call my husband here. So like I said, the looser your bracelet is, the easier this is going to be. The more full it is, the harder it is. So there we go. All right. So not too bad. It's doable, and you definitely take a little bit of contortioning, but you can get it on there. That's not a problem. Also, they have these, they're called bracelet buddies, where you, it's a lobster claw on one end, and then it's a long, I actually have one, I'll show it to you next time. But that's about it for the bracelet, Troll Beads bracelet intro. Otherwise, I have most of the information written out on the post. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment. All right, I'll see you next time.